reminiscent of what it's like interacting in person, face to face, right? Because you can just say something or something without having to unmute. So just take it slow when we do go back in person for, anything you might be a community leader for, or anything like that. Take it really slow, and just know that it's going to take people some time to kind of adjust back to the rhythms of real life, I guess it is. And that, it won't be really easy to get community engagement right off the bat. So working off of those building blocks that I mentioned earlier, right? If you use those building blocks for this community you built virtually, that will be a good stepping stone to kind of continue that building when you're in person. We don't want to start completely fresh and all over just because we're in person now, right? Those relationships and dynamics still will remain the same, albeit a little different because now we're face to face, and body language and all that stuff will be involved. So it'll be a little different, but more than not, it will, the transition itself will not be seamless. We just have to make sure, again, we take it slow and be able to adapt what we've learned online to bring it back to in-person interactions. And the interactions in person won't be exactly one-to-one like they were before COVID, because, we'll still be safe, probably wearing masks, still distanced apart. As long as we're maintaining those relationships we've built now in this virtual world, we can build off of that once we come back. The second thing is listen. And what I mean by listen is just listen hard and listen completely, right, to whatever folks are saying. When we're in a community online, it's really easy to get points across and messages across because you have nothing to do except type in what you mean, right? It's really hard to beat around the bush online because people know that's happening and they'll probably call you out for it. But in person, if you're trying to build on these communities, we need to listen to what the community members are in need of, and also listen to ourselves and be comfortable enough with what we need and what we want to be able to translate that to our community members. And the easiest way to build upon community still without, putting it into halt is just to listen to the needs of your community and to really understand those dynamics, because those complex dynamics are not available in a virtual world. As much as I would love for it to be, it's hard. Again, things like body language, inflection, those things don't really exist online, right? And through Zoom a little bit, but it's not the same, and it's not a direct translation to what it is in person. So really be careful and really listen hard to make sure that we're addressing any needs of our community, and having those needs be addressed will help develop, again, rapport and build upon this community that we have already virtually. And the last one is give grace. I cannot say this one enough. I say this one a lot to everyone, anybody I meet. We need to give grace to not only ourselves, but to our community members, because it's been a year plus of being in this pandemic, and it's hard. It's very hard to do things online. There's a lot of Zoom burnout. I hate going to Zoom meetings. I'll say that right now. I go to so many, and a lot of them can be emails. I know this meeting is recorded, but I stand true by my statement. Just give grace to folks, right? If we're in person and you want to, say, hang out with your study group or go grab a bite after class, some people might not be ready to kind of take that jump into that social setting yet, and that's okay. And again, going back to listen, we just have to understand that it's going to take getting used to being in front of other people physically and interacting physically again. So just give grace to not only other people, but to yourself. Not everyone will want to hang out or will want to go to this function or this event, and that's okay. That community you built is still there. Those walls and that base you built are still there. They're not gone just because someone doesn't want to do something in the moment. And understanding that it's going to take time to get back to normal. So in the meantime, hopefully the things I talked about today can help you foster community in some sort of way, if that's what you're trying to do in this virtual world. And I would love to hear about your endeavors or what kind of community you're trying to build, because I love that sort of stuff. But this went a little faster than I expected. So thank you, everybody, for coming. If you have any questions or concerns, compliments, the chat is open. You can unmute. I also have my email. If you want a copy of the presentation, I can always forward that to you. But Thank you again, Albin, for reaching out to me so long ago to present on this. At first, I was like, what the heck am I going to do? But I'm here. I did it. And thank you to EICC for having me. But yeah, I'll be here for questions. I know this was a quicker presentation than y'all expected. We had an hour time slot, but I talk fast, I guess. So
that's totally fine, Jimmy. I'm going to just open it up real quick if anyone has any questions or comments. Oh, I think people want an encore of the full experience.
Full
video,
performance.
yes.
I can, okay.
Hi, Jimmy.
Yes, Jasmine. Hello, Jasmine.
I was like, we're building community through a watch party. Let's do it.
Yes, that's true. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Here. Let me see if I can play like the whole thing.
As the Secretary General of the United Nations, an organization of 147 member states who represent almost all of the human inhabitants of the planet Earth, I send greetings on behalf of the people of our planet. We step out of our solar system into the universe seeking only peace and friendship, to teach if we are called upon, to be taught if we are fortunate. We know full well that our planet and all its inhabitants are but a small part of this immense universe that surrounds us, and it is with humility and hope that we take this step.
Silema gemen.
Eirenikos pros philos elelithamen philoi.
Paz e felicidade a todos.
各位好嘛，祝各位平安、健康、快樂。
Adanish lushulnu.
Здравствуйте, привет,
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
All right. That was it. I'm going to stop my screen share now so my screen is not all weird.
Thank you again, Jimmy. That was like, I'm like filled with emotions. That was like an amazing video, and I know that that couldn't have been done with people like you supporting and forming a community with all of them. So again, thank you for sharing your experience. Yes, Rihanna, I am moved. I'm very moved. And your experience when fostering a sense of community and how important that is, especially, you know, today in our current climate. And speaking of community, you know, capturing moments is also important. So if you all are comfortable and turning on your camera, I will be taking a screenshot of the community we have here today.
Dang, y'all look good. You should keep your cameras on all the time.
All right, I'm gonna count it down in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, well, thank you again, everyone, for coming out tonight. And do note that we do have our last speaker event after spring break on Thursday, April 8th, same time, same Zoom link. So we hope to see you then.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Don't zoom and drive, Brianna.